Hello folks, this is my second YouTube video on the 97 Chevy Blazer. Today I wanted to go over some of the recap of what I've done to my 97 Chevy Blazer that I picked up last June, and it is currently now November. Recently, I would say probably for the past 3 months now, I've been dealing with the anti-lock light, ABS light that keeps coming on. It's a very intermittent, unusual thing. Sometimes it'll come on after sitting for long periods of time, or it may even come on after driving and you sit at a red light too long. It'll just come on for no reason. Usually once you start to move, it does shut off and the light may not come back on at all. It also very frequently comes on whenever it's rained out. Today we just had some rain. As you can see on the windshield, there is some rain. And so far things I've done is I've changed the brake pads to a little better upgraded pad. They're still semi-metallic like the original set that I had on there. The original set that I had on there were really cheap and they were flaking, causing metallic material to stick to the actual ABS sensor. On this particular vehicle, the ABS sensor is actually separate from the wheel bearing. It is a four-wheel drive vehicle, but the wheel bearing does not have the sensor built into it. The sensor is actually located on the dust shield that sits behind the rotor and also bolts up behind the actual wheel hub assembly. So far, it looks as though the previous owner had replaced the sensor on the driver's side, and it looks newer than the one that was on the passenger side. So the one on the passenger side was really rusted, so I went ahead and replaced it and put a new sensor on there, as well as cleaned the spindle on the wheel hub and cleaned the driver sensor. Well, the light stayed off for a couple days, and guess what? As you can see, it's coming back on. So if anybody has any insight on what could be causing that, I'd greatly appreciate it. I've been told many things, from the ABS control module could be bad to possibly maybe I just need to replace this other driver side sensor. But as you can see, I did get it for a pretty good deal. It's in really good shape. It's a two-door, it's a base model. So far, things that I have done to it is I've done the front left ball joints on it, upper and lower. I had to replace the pitman arm because it had a lot of play in it. I also had to replace the exhaust from the catalytic converter back, the muffler and tailpipe. The front brake pads, rotors have been replaced. I also replaced the tensioner pulley on the belt, on the serpentine belt. And I've also installed new Monroe front and rear shocks on this vehicle. I don't know if you can see that in there or not. I'll try to zoom in a little. Also replaced the sway bar pins, which are probably not easy to see at this current location. But it's had a little bit of body work done at the bottom where they typically rust, but someone that did it did a pretty okay job on it, so I'm just going to let it go for now. And I can also show you the sensor. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but I've also replaced, that's the new sensor wire for the ABS control that then goes down into behind there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but figured I'd give it a try. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the update. Oh, and I've also had to replace the rear seals on the axle. They started to leak oil, which then got into brake shoes and was causing the brakes to hang up. So I replaced the rear seals and put new differential fluid and gasket on the differential, as well as flushed the transfer case fluid and flushed the front differential with some new gear oil in it as well. So that's pretty much where we're at right now. If anybody has any feedback, I'd appreciate it. Like I said, the ABS light is becoming kind of a pain. I'd like to try to get that working properly. If not, I plan on just pulling the fuse and running it with the old style conventional brake system. And that's it. Thank you.